We begin tonight with breaking news. A massive explosion just off I-49.
It was followed by a number of smaller explosions. We're just learning what used to be there, a lawn care business. Kmbc 9's Taisha Walker at the scene.
Laura, firefighters here in Grandview are still very busy at this hour. You can see them putting water on something on the opposite side of those trees. We're told that was a lawn mower repair shop. We are told that there's typically the owner and his dog that would be inside of that shop, but according to firefighters, no one was inside and everyone has been accounted for. They do tell us, though, that there was some sort of reloaded ammo or black powder, gunpowder inside of the basement of that shop, which caused that first initial explosion when firefighters first got here onto the scene, and then a series of small explosions, which some neighbors described as hearing gunshots. We spoke with one man who told me that he and his wife both had to duck when they heard that sound.
All of a sudden, it was like, the whole apartment just shook, and it was like boom, boom, and it wasn't a boom to where it came in. It was one where it sucked everything out. So if you look at my front window, it's on the lawn. It's not in the apartment. You know, and then it was like gunfire, like pop, 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 like a war zone.
The fire chief tells me that it is just not safe for them to go any closer inside of that building. They will try to do that tomorrow, but for now they're just trying to put that fire out. But they do think that there was some sort of ammunition that likely caused that first explosion and then a series of them. Haley, Laura?
News Chopper 9's Johnny Rollins over the scene for a little more than an hour.
He has a look from up above.
A lot of people felt this explosion on the south side. As a matter of fact, I live about 10 miles from here at the corner of 140th and I-49. And my wife and I felt it at my house. We thought something had run into the house. It was that big of a deal, and it turns out it was a building here that exploded on the southwest corner of 140th and I-49. You saw it to the upper right there, a convenience store. Initially, the reports were perhaps that had exploded, but we have since learned it's going to be this building just to the south of that on the west side of I-49. Firefighters still pouring water on this, but now more just smoldering debris than when we arrived a while ago and saw this pretty much blazing away. Initially as well, firefighters really kept their distance from this, and I got to tell you, it still looks like they may be doing that as we have that aerial, and only the aerial, pouring water on this right now. Certainly does not look like it's at risk of spreading or anything like that, so I'm sure they feel like they have things pretty much under control in that regard. I-49 traffic southbound, the off-ramp to 140th Street's been shut down, but the biggest story here is all the sightseers we have. Probably most of those people felt this and got in their car to see what was happening, and here you go. The off-ramp from northbound I-49 to 140th Street clogged now with those taking a look at what was this building that exploded earlier this evening. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Of course, you can follow the very latest information from this scene online. We'll post updates to our Facebook, Twitter, and our webpage.
More breaking news out of Raytown. A teenager shot fighting for his life at the hospital tonight.
Reports of shots fired after 5 near East 77th and Crescent. An ambulance transporting one teen. Police taking 3 other teens into custody for questioning. No arrests tonight. This is the first shooting in Raytown this year. New details on a New Year's Eve crash in Raytown. Police say a woman has died from her injuries. The crash happening near 67th and Ralston Avenue. The victim, 69-year-old Cecile Leggio, her vehicle hit by another. The other driver suffered minor injuries. Leggio taken to the hospital. She died 2 days later. Investigators are trying to determine whether speed or alcohol may have played a role in that crash. And a busy New Year's weekend for the Kansas Highway Patrol. Troopers working 3 deadly crashes, including one in Douglas County. None alcohol related. Troopers also making fewer DUI arrests compared to the last New Year, but the number of speeding tickets went up. First alert, crews are getting ready for potential winter weather. Tomorrow, Independence Public Works posting to Facebook. Crews will be pre-treating roads tonight ahead of Wednesday's predicted snow. Meteorologist Jennifer McDermott is in the Weather Center now.
And Jennifer, the snow expected to come later tomorrow, right?
Later tomorrow, in fact, about 24 hours from now. Coming up, I'll let you know how long our below average temperatures will be hanging around and the timing of the snow.
An emotional day in a Wyandotte County courtroom. One plea deal accepted.
Another falling through in the deaths of 2 fallen KCK police officers last year. Kmbc 9's Matt Fleener outside the Unified Government City Hall tonight to explain.
I believe that they were relieved.
In front of reporters, Wyandotte County District Attorney Jerome Gorman talked about a plea deal in the death of Detective Brad Lancaster.
His mother and his wife, and thought, without a doubt, they thought that was the best resolution.
Suspect Curtis Ayers spared the family a trial, pleading guilty, agreeing to life in prison without parole for killing Detective Brad Lancaster May 9th outside the Hollywood Casino.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
No such plea for the family of KCK Captain Dave Melton, shot and killed in July. Suspect Jamal Lewis backing out of a plea agreement at the last minute.
It would have been best for everybody had the plea gone through.
His family and fellow officers all in court waiting. Now have to wait longer.
Crushed us. I mean, we thought he was a man of his word, but we should have known he's a coward. But we've got a strong blue line, and we're going to stand hard, and we're going to get him.
Court hearing scheduled on both cases in March. You can follow the developments from the beginning on Kmbc.com. And we have a homicide investigation in Riverside, Missouri tonight. Police responding just before 2 this afternoon to the Northcrest Apartments off Gateway Avenue. One person found shot to death. No arrests tonight.
Happening right now, police in Smithville asking for help finding a missing teenager. 15-year-old Cole Robinette left his house overnight. He took his mother's car, a maroon 2005 Ford Explorer with a Missouri license plate DA9F1L. If you see Cole, call police.
Police say a man exposes himself at shopping center parking lots, and they need your help identifying him. He's a white male in his 50s wearing rimmed glasses. Kansas City, Missouri police want to know who he is. They say the man was found naked in the Plaza Central parking garage last September. He also exposed himself at the parking lot of Home Goods on Ward Parkway. Overland Park police believe that same man you saw there may be responsible for a number of incidents in their city.
That is a long time, and it could be affecting more people. It could be going more places. Clearly, it was more than one-time deal, so it's probably going to happen again.
We are needing tips, as usual. We need your help, Kansas City. We cannot solve these cases by ourselves.
The incidents happened September 24th and 25th. Police say he's driving a newer Jeep Patriot seen in these surveillance photos. If you know anything, call the TIPS hotline.
Kansas City, Missouri, hoping to knock out more blight in the new year. The city releasing this video talking about the success it had in the past 6 months, revitalizing neighborhoods, knocking down more than 100 abandoned, dangerous buildings. Dozens of those demolitions, though, donated, helping save taxpayer money. Orkin releasing its annual list of the top 50 cities infested by bed bugs, coming at 45. Kansas City, Missouri. The top 3 cities are Baltimore, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. Orkin also giving tips to combat bed bugs, inspect your homes and the furniture that comes into it. Check hotel rooms while you travel. And if you suspect you have a bed bug problem, call pest control immediately.
Missouri's incoming governor, Eric Greitens, wants to consider if the state should continue supporting the Truman Sports Complex. The state gives the complex $3 million a year. There's a question about the future. The new governor is very opposed to any state money helping build a new St. Louis soccer stadium. Today, Michael Mahoney asked Greitens about the state money for the stadiums here.
I'm happy to sit down with folks at the Truman Sports Complex and at other places to talk with them about their plans so that we can figure out what we want to do moving forward.
The Missouri budget is tight. One of the first things the new governor will have to consider after taking office next week is decide if and where he can make some budget cuts. Sunflower Showdown, round 1 happening now, and fans on both sides lined up pretty early.
And in the freezing cold, but as KBC 9's Alan Shope tells us, the fans tonight, they were not worried about the weather.
I'm pretty cold. I definitely didn't wear enough because I thought I'd be waiting inside.
It's a place where, for Kansas State Wildcats fan Lei Ming Tang, it was hard enough just getting a ticket to. Forget about the freezing cold temperatures outside.
My KU friend's kind of hooking me up right now.
Tang went to K-State for 4 years and knows road teams don't come to Allen Fieldhouse and win games usually. But Tang says here's to hoping and supporting your team.
You hope for a K-State win, but KU doesn't really lose here, so we'll hope for the best, I guess.
The Jayhawks, meanwhile, are looking for their 13th straight Big 12 title, and these fans say it's going to happen, and it begins tonight.
Too easy.
Gotta stay warm.
Sure, it's cold, but the more than 3-hour wait for some to get in, they say is well worth it.
Oh yeah, it's worth it. It's K-State rivalry game. Got to be here.
It's worth it, absolutely. We're from South Texas, so it's a little cold.
Came about 300 miles. Just want to watch KU beat K-State.
Now, as usual, it was a complete sellout tonight in Lawrence. We'll have highlights from that game coming up later on in sports. The FDA investigating the dangers of exploding batteries in e-cigarettes. This coming after dozens of reports of devices that have combusted or overheated or even caught fire, sometimes hurting the users. The agency holding a 2-day public meeting in April. Last year, the FDA said that it would start to regulate that fast-growing industry, requiring e-cig makers to submit their devices and ingredients for review.
5 people dead after tornadoes just tear through the southern part of the country. And now strong storms, heavy rain challenging residents tonight.
Lord, please be with us, Lord.
12 tornadoes reported, leaving debris and damage everywhere. Tragedy struck this mobile home in Alabama. 4 women inside lost their lives. Mississippi residents dealing with what's left of their homes.
We have an upstairs. It's basically an upstairs, but now it's a downstairs today.
The sheriff tells us the 4 women who died did exactly what they were supposed to do. They took cover in the bathroom, but the tree fell directly on top of them.
Well, we're not talking severe weather here in Kansas City, but we are talking snow. The cold air has arrived, so now we're just going to be adding that snow to our forecast. Coming up, we'll have the timing of it along with the totals.
And we continue to follow breaking news out of Grandview. A number of explosions just off I-49. Live pictures right now from News Chopper 9. We have multiple crews gathering more updates and information right now throughout the night here on Kmbc 9.
This is KMBC 9 News at 9 on KCWE with Haley Harrison, Stephen Albritton, First Alert Weather with Jennifer McDermott, and Sports with Len Jennings.
Back to breaking news out of Grandview tonight. An explosion at a lawn care business.
KMBC 9's Matt Fleener is on the scene. And Matt, you were talking to a number of neighbors on Facebook Live earlier. What were they saying?
Yeah, a lot of neighbors heard this explosion. They saw this explosion too, and it was massive. I want to show you the scene right now. We're on the west side of I-49, right off of 140th Street. You see that big ladder truck right there, which has been spraying water on the lawnmower repair shop, which exploded just after 7 o'clock tonight. It's just beyond that tree line right there, and the flames are out. I want to walk you back right over here and take a look over this fence, and you'll see that there is no window right there where those blinds are. Those windows were completely shattered, completely blown out. And then we'll walk back over this way as well. Neighbors tonight, they are having to board up their windows, and they're trying to figure out where they're going to sleep tonight because all of their windows have been blown out. A lot of people are trying to figure out their plans right now, and we talked to those neighbors who were just rattled tonight.
I came outside right after the first explosion, and after that then there was numerous other smaller explosions. They said there was probably ammunition, fireworks, gas cans in there, and it was just going on for a good 10-15 minutes.
We were just in there eating dinner, and I mean it blew up. And I mean the house, we kept running out of the house, but we couldn't see anything. But we heard like 5 explosions.
As we understand from a relative, there was nobody inside that lawnmower repair shop tonight, so that's a little bit of good news there. But look at this, somebody's actually staying warm in their car because their window has been completely blown out. The heat obviously not working on a very cold night here in Grandview. Haley?
Happening right now, a manhunt for an inmate who escaped from a maximum security ward in Rhode Island on New Year's Eve. James Morales, considered armed and dangerous. He faces charges for sexual assault of a child and for stealing guns from an Army Reserve center.
I have children of my own, and I heard the charges that he had, so I was very scared for me and my children.
Police say that Morales may have crossed state lines into Massachusetts. 2 officers now on paid leave as authorities investigate how Morales managed to escape. Credit reporting agencies TransUnion and Equifax facing a nearly $23 million fine for false advertising. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says both companies must return more than $17 million to wronged customers. The agency says they led customers to believe the credit scores they were buying are the same ones lenders use to make credit decisions. And new guidelines for removing earwax. Doctors' main advice, don't do it. The big change in recommendations here, do not do ear candling. That's where you stick a hollow candle in your ear to remove wax. Doctors say it doesn't work, and they say that you shouldn't put anything into your ears, including Q-tips. A Michigan mom fighting for a healthier checkout lane. Jane Kramer of Bath Township starting a new petition on change.org. Kramer asking grocery chain Meijer to pull the junk and adult-themed tabloids from checkout aisle shelves. She says her inspiration came after adopting her son and grocery shopping as a new mom, realizing that there's really no healthy option when you go to checkout. An update on Alexander's journey from this is the boy, by the way, from the UK getting treatment at the University of Kansas Hospital. He is in Florida tonight. Make-A-Wish sending him to Disney World. Alexander's family posting these pictures of his visit to Hollywood Studios. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office retweeting the post saying, "Love the giant smile on your face." I think we all do.
We do.
And an update on that German Shepherd who has stolen the hearts of Kansas City.
Caesar is gaining weight and loves to eat. Look at that sweet boy. He doesn't like to share his food though, so he keeps his on his bowl and doesn't mind if the mealtime gets a little messy. The KC Pet Project tells us Caesar could get a foster family as soon as this week.
All grown up now, these two cute girls you see in this picture, well, they got the gift of a lifetime tonight.
Seeing their mom, Kaylee, for the first time since this photo was taken more than 4 decades ago. KMBC 9's Stacey Cameron was there for the wonderful family reunion.
Any day outside the airport, you'll see hundreds of hugs goodbye. But on this day,
I know she's anxious to hug us.
Inside the terminal at KCI,
I'm freaking out yet.
A long overdue hello.
We are going to meet our mama for the first time in 40 years.
Sisters Starla and Jeannie.
Did you bring tissues? I have them in my purse. I bought half a box.
Separated from their mom overseas at ages 2 and 3.
We would talk to each other at night and ask questions like, do you think she loves you?
Finally finding their mother thanks to this picture the girls posted online.
She said it was the only thing she had of us girls, and she carried it in her purse for the last 40 some odd years.
And seen by their mom last week. With a 4-decade wait coming to an end.
Happy tears. Happy tears, okay? No cry. Don't, because you're going to make me cry. Now don't cry. Okay.
Neither sisters.
I see her. I see her right there. Look at her right there.
Nor their mom could hold back the tears or let go of hugs.
Oh my God.
In the moment when a family's dream of 4 decades
It's real. It's real now.
finally came true.
Oh my goodness. Mom met Dad while he was in the military serving in Thailand. The couple divorced. Dad got full custody, moving the girls stateside. Mom now lives in Colorado, but plans to spend the next week here in the metro visiting with her daughters. Isn't that unbelievable?
Incredible. What a story.
Oh my gosh, I need a Kleenex right now.
I know.
Tough act to follow there, Jennifer.
I know it is. Oh my goodness. It's definitely a warming story, and you'll need that right now because it is cold outside. It's 27 for Friday over the weekend, staying in the 30s, not back to average until next week.
You know, it felt even colder today just because we're coming off that nice warm streak.
I know.
That's so true.
Hits you, doesn't
so
it?
true.
So hard. Yep.
Yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely.
Jennifer.
Well, the Sunflower Showdown tips off tonight.
Kansas takes on K-State. We have the early highlights.
Kansas has won 10 straight games at Allen Fieldhouse against Kansas State, converted to the outfield last year. Spring training, a month away? Yeah, Valentine's Day, just over a month away.
Just
Wow.
over a
So
month.
fast.
Yes.
All right, well, we do want to get back to our breaking news on 140th and I-49, an explosion inside of a residence there. We are told that people for miles around could feel this explosion.
And Taisha Walker, Matt Fleener, both on the scene. We're going to have more live pictures coming up for you and on KMBC.com.
We begin tonight with breaking news, a massive explosion just off of I-49.
It was followed by a number of smaller explosions. We're just learning it happened in what used to be a lawn care business. KMBC 9's Taisha Walker live at the scene. Taisha?
Laura, firefighters here in Grandview have taken a break from spraying down that lawnmower repair shop, which is on the other side of those trees. You can actually see a flashlight from time to time, and some firefighters are actually getting a closer look. We can actually see a small flame too, but this fire, this explosion started around 7 o'clock. We're told by the fire chief here in Grandview that there was some ammunition inside of that building which exploded and caused a series of small explosions. One resident who lives at the apartments right next door told me that it sounded like gunshots going off.
Imagine just sitting there all of a sudden, woo-woo! Hey, I hit the ground. Because all I could do was hit the ground. It's like, it was cold. I mean, it was crazy.
that explosion was strong enough to knock the window in his front apartment off, as well as some of his neighbors. Right now, they have boarded it up with cardboard boxes, and it's just a very cold night for this to happen. But we are told that the owner, who lives inside of that repair shop with his dog, did make it out okay. Apparently they were not in at the time, but that's what we're hearing down here on the ground. Laura, Haley.
All right, that's very good news. News Chopper 9's Johnny Rollins over the scene for a little more than an hour.
He has a look from up above tonight, Johnny.
Yeah, going on 2 hours right now, as a matter of fact. As you see to the upper left there is going to be a convenience store. Initial reports were that perhaps it was a convenience store that had exploded. We're looking at I-49. Traffic headed towards us there would be the southbound run as we look to the north and east. That's 140th Street above 7149. And here is just to the south of that convenience store where the explosion occurred. Only thing left now, some smoldering debris, a couple of little hot spots. Yes, we did have firefighters up a little bit closer to this, as it looks like the investigation has begun into exactly what happened. Another interesting thing is you see how the trees are coated here. It's a little mini winter wonderland, well below freezing, as firefighters were playing water on this, of course, collected on the trees, and they are heavily weighted down. Underneath those trees, by the way, a couple of vehicles that were destroyed in this fire as well. One of them with the headlights on right now, believe it or not. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Wow, what a scene. Of course, you can follow the very latest information from this scene online. We'll post updates to our Facebook, Twitter, and to our webpage. And we're joined now by Jennifer McDermott, and you heard Taisha Walker say it. What a night for those firefighters to be out there working.
I mean, it's cold outside, as Johnny mentioned. It looks like a winter wonderland with the ice freezing on the trees from the firefighters. And then also, Taisha mentioned how the windows being blasted out, just not a good combination at all. It's cold outside. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at these temperatures. 19 degrees right now in Kansas City. Coming up, I'll let you know how long the cold air will be staying here. And we'll also have a timing of the track of the snow when it arrives and how much snow we will be expecting.
The video dramatic enough to make your heart stop. Two boys start climbing on a dresser when it tips over, trapping one underneath. The boy who isn't pinned manages to figure out a way to get his brother out. Their mother says she didn't hear the dresser fall, didn't hear any cries, just saw what happened because of the video captured on the nanny cam.
Oh, my heart sank. I honestly felt like the worst parent ever, as I think every parent would. And it was such an easy thing for me that I could have done to prevent what happened to my children.
That little boy is doing fine tonight. Kaylee and her husband embarrassed to show this video to anyone, but deciding to share the link on Facebook to raise awareness of the importance of securing dressers.
And that story, it hits close to home for a Kansas City family who actually lost a child in a similar accident. Kelly Ackerman talked to Charlie Horn's father.
The near tragedy caught on camera is frightening, especially for Brett Horn, who knows it could have been deadly.
The video was chilling to watch. As a parent who's lost a child in the same manner, it was very, very chilling to watch a child be trapped underneath that dresser for almost 2 minutes.
His son, 2-year-old Charlie, died more than 9 years ago when a small dresser fell, trapping him underneath.
Everyone assumed it was a large piece of furniture. The dresser that killed Charlie was only 30 inches high. Very similar in height to the one that was on the video from Utah.
The family started a nonprofit called Charlie's House, dedicated to preventing accidents to children in the home. A big part of that is getting everyone to anchor furniture to the walls. All it takes is a simple kit.
And you secure the two pieces together.
A simple step to prevent tragedy.
Of course, it will leave a small hole in the wall if you decide to move that piece of furniture, but it's much easier to fix a hole in the wall than it is to fix a hole in your heart.
On average, one child dies every 2 weeks when a TV or a piece of furniture falls on top of them. A lot of furniture now includes an anchoring device. If not, though, you can get them at the local hardware store. We have a link to more instructions on our website, which is kmbc.com. Just look under 9 can help.
Gladstone police want you to check your bank statements. They say after the holidays, hackers could target your bank and credit cards. So if you see something suspicious, contact police. And right now, a kid's scooter is being recalled from Amazon. These are the Joyrider 3-wheeled scooters. The company says the front wheels can just come off. So far, there has been one injury. Amazon sold the items from October 2014 through January 2016.
A man is in custody charged with firing shots into Leawood homes. 33-year-old Anthony Williams is charged with aggravated assault as well as being a felon in possession possession of a firearm. He made his first appearance before a judge in Johnson County District Court today. Peggy Bright takes us to one of the homes that he shot.
It was 7 o'clock New Year's morning when a Leawood couple awoke to this. They didn't want to go on camera, but told us all about it. She heard 2 pops. They both heard a crash. They ran into the kitchen thinking something just fell. Then the man saw the suspect at his back door, trying to kick the door in.
At the same time, she looked out this window and saw a red truck parked right here in her driveway. That's when she says the man jumped into the truck, backed up, and sped off.
She was on the phone with 911 as she watched him speed off. Not far away, police arrested Anthony Williams. Investigators say he shot into 2 homes in the area. The woman found 6 coats ruined by the gunshots. One lodged in a bench, the other went through to the laundry room. They're shaken by what happened, but they know how lucky they are tonight that their New Year's surprise wasn't much worse. In Leawood, I'm Peggy Bright. Laura?
The truck Williams was arrested in was apparently stolen from Kansas City, Missouri. The Kansas Supreme Court could make major rulings headed into the new year. The biggest issues, school funding and abortion. The court heard arguments in September on whether Kansas is spending enough money on public schools to provide a suitable education for every child. It could rule any time. The court could also reshape abortion policy with a decision in a lawsuit filed by 2 doctors, challenging a ban enacted in 2015 on a common second trimester procedure.
Your fast food guilty pleasure may not be so guilty anymore. Nachos, tacos, and burritos, a healthier drive-thru at Taco Bell. We'll show you how. Fast food chain Taco Bell issuing its own New Year's resolutions. The first, cutting out some sugar. It's eliminating its extra large drink sizes. The company says it's removing antibiotics from its chicken during the early part of this year. Plus, Taco Bell will remove preservatives and other additives from its food by 2018.
Well, Taco Bell may be going healthy, but the Girl Scouts of America aren't. They're celebrating 100 years by adding some brand new cookies to its lineup, introducing 2 new s'mores cookies. The cookies combine 2 Girl Scout traditions. The new cookies will be available during the 2017 cookie season, which I think is coming up to order. The 100th year celebration officially begins in February during National Girl Scout Cookie Weekend.
Those girls get me every time. Chrysler is giving people a glimpse of the future of driving. The automaker revealing its Portal concept car Tuesday at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. It's an all-electric self-driving minivan that can go an estimated 250 miles on one charge. The Portal also has its fair share of high-tech features, facial and voice recognition technology, personal audio zones where the driver and the passenger can each listen to their own music, wow, and interior cameras for selfies. And we do continue to follow that breaking news tonight out of Grandview. An explosion and a fire at a lawn care company. I-49 and 140th. Smoke still rising from the scene. A live update in 2 minutes. Back to our breaking news out of Grandview tonight. An explosion at a lawn care business.
Kmbc 9's Matt Fleener at the scene. And Matt, you were talking to a number of neighbors on Facebook Live earlier.
A lot of people heard and saw this explosion. We're on the west side of I-49 right now, and you can see back over here, you see some flashlights. Those look to be KCP&L workers who are going back in to where this explosion happened just after 7 o'clock tonight at a lawnmower repair shop. And they are trying to figure out now what to do about the power in this area. And if you take a look just to the right over there, photographer Brett Elliott noticed this. The trees are completely iced over because of all of the water that they were spraying onto this fire after this explosion, again, at this lawnmower repair shop. Neighbors also heard what sounded like ammunition, pop, 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 coming from this repair shop after that explosion. And a lot of people were very scared at that. The firefighters were very careful not to go close to the fire. We'll also show you this. This is a window that has been completely blown out. Dozens of windows in this Cedarwood apartment complex right near this explosion have been blown out, and repair crews are here tonight to try and board up these windows so people can stay warm in this very cold night. We'll send it back to you, Laura.
Yeah, that is amazing seeing that window. And of course, you can follow the latest information from this scene online. We'll post updates to our Facebook, Twitter, and web page.
Carrie Fisher and her mother, Debbie Reynolds, will be laid to rest this week. Fisher's sisters, though, are opening up about her final moments and their happiest memories together. ABC's Chris Conley has the story.
I think everybody mostly wants to say how sorry they are for what you both have had to go through these last few days. How are you doing?
I've been having an out-of-body experience, and the world lost Carrie and Debbie, of course, and Princess Leia, and we lost our hero. We lost our mirror.
We had the coolest big sister in the world. She was a gun-toting princess. I mean, who has that?
While Jolie and Tricia were raised by mom Connie Stevens and Carrie raised by her mother Debbie Reynolds, the three shared a father, singer Eddie Fisher.
I do remember seeing her on in a 40-foot close-up and going, wow, that's my sister. I mean, on screen. And then
that's actually how I found, I really knew about her, was
Yeah.
Star Wars.
What did you know about her that maybe the rest of us did not?
I think that she was more sensitive.
She was secretly soft. She was extremely generous. Like, you would walk in and she would just hand you something in her room.
A private memorial for Fisher and her mother Debbie Reynolds will take place in Los Angeles on Thursday. A public event is also in the works. And film and stage star Debbie Reynolds passed away last week, but her Hollywood legacy lives on.
Good morning. Good morning.
The Singing in the Rain star died at the age of 84. This year's top musical, La La Land, used her as an inspiration, according to its star, Ryan Gosling.
We watch Singing in the Rain every day for inspiration and truly unparalleled talent. So thank you to her for all of that inspiration.
Many people drawing comparisons between La La Land and one of Reynolds' most famous works.
People fall in love in mysterious ways.
We are days away from new music from Ed Sheeran. The singer has been off the radar for the last year, but he sent a very cryptic tweet, one of a blue square with a date, Thursday at midnight. Also posting a video of himself on Instagram holding a sign saying new music Friday. A new beer is about to hit store shelves from Boulevard Brewery. Early Riser Coffee Porter will debut in Kansas City restaurants tomorrow. It's a drink made for beer and coffee lovers. Kegs are available on Monday, and you can buy bottles next Tuesday.
So I guess that's like hair of the dog, too.
Whatever works, man. They keep coming up with great concoctions over there, so people keep buying it.
Jennifer.
Hey, you might need some beer to get through this cold weather that we are expecting with highs in 30s. We'll be back after the break. All right, here's one last look at the timing of the snow. Highs in the low 30s. Haley?
And tonight on Jimmy Kimmel Live, actress Taraji P. Henson with music from Mike Posner. And thanks for watching. Join Chris Katz and Laura Moritz in 3 minutes over on Channel 9 for KMBC 9 News at 10. There you'll find updates out of Grandview. Johnny Rollins and News Chopper 9, Taisha Walker and Matt Fleener all talking with neighbors there impacted by that explosion and fire at a nearby lawn care company.